got another Goliath Fight Series coming up next weekend. It's going to have a host of Irish fighters. We've got the two main men for it here. So I want to thank you very much for your time. We've got Harris, and if you don't know who the other man is Chris Duncan, a UFC fighter. So how are you looking forward to the show? How's it shaping up?
Aye, we're good to go, mate. We're Stephen's been working behind the scenes when I've been away, preparing for my fight, and I've came back and jumped in the deep end. So it feels like I'm drowning a wee bit, but we're nearly getting there.
And you've a host. I've noticed I've taken a shine to this show, obviously, because there's always been Irish fighters on it, or seems to be Irish fighters on it. Was that ever a plan, or was it just kind of happened? And because I like that the Irish fighters getting a chance outside of our country, obviously. And how do you find working with the Irish?
Yeah, great, mate. Do you know what? The majority of the guys have contacted us as well. They've reached out to us. I know a few guys from Ireland, but the majority of guys that have been on our show have literally reached out to us. So we must be doing something right that guys want to jump over the pond and get on the show. So yeah, I mean, the Irish guys have always been great to work with. We've never had an issue with Irish guys, so all good. Yeah.
The good thing for us as well is that we're starting to build our business, that we can now start to pay the fighters back a little bit. So between me and Stephen, that we wanted to make sure that they hit both ends. Obviously making a good show, but we wanted to get back to the fighters, because I remember fighting back in the day for nothing. So us putting on prize money is a big draw for everything. So £1,000 to a 17-year-old laddie, or £1,000 to an average MMA fighter, is just unheard of. So we're looking to step up, and we are the best MMA show in Scotland right now. So there's no one close. So we're just looking to try and get to top standard like in Europe.
Yeah, and like that, I seen obviously the prize money, not just for an MMA fighter, Chris. You've been there, you've gone through the trenches of all the time, and it's evolved so much, and they have to put so much in. You got to get so little back. So congratulations and fair play on being able to pay them back. It is a huge help for fighters, as you know. But like you said, you're the best in Scotland at the minute. When your first show, I want to say, was August 2022. What made you decide to start the promotion in the first place?
Well, for me, mate, it was getting my guys active. In Scotland, there wasn't a lot going on. We were travelling up and down the country. I think the majority of our shows in that year, the year before last, was we travelled down to England for maybe between 8 and 12 shows. And I had a conversation with my mate, and it was one of these drunken conversations where he went, "You'll not put a show on." I went, "I'll put fucking 2 on." And then I did. And here we are, we're on to number 6, but this was also a double show as well. So we get the venue for 24 hours sort of thing. So we thought that we'd put a grappling show on by day, keep sort of MMA fighters active, give guys an opportunity to compete for free, as grappling shows are they're quite expensive. So the guys we've got, I think, 20 fights, is it? 20 grappling
18.
Yeah. From white belt right up to black belt matchups. But again, these are things we thought, because there's not a lot of opportunity, especially to young MMA fighters who are maybe apprentices or they don't have money. We thought, I think, putting especially the grappling series, keep guys active. But the thing for Goliath as well was it started because there wasn't a lot on. There wasn't a lot going on, and we had our own cage and stuff. I thought, fuck it, why not? What's the worst that can happen? And here we are, running the game.
Yeah, like that. You've got 2 tournaments, I believe. I want to say a flyweight and a bantamweight tournament, isn't it? Yeah. Both with prize money, and you've got obviously Dan and Blaine from Ireland in title fights as well. So it's a fantastic show. Every time, what was the first show like compared to now? Because obviously there's going to be teething issues. You obviously got out quite quickly, because you're pumping shows out just a quick turnaround on most of them, and you're quite
well, I think we're just under a year and a half. I think we've done 6 MMA shows, that'll be 2 grappling shows in just under a year and a half. Just about. I think we've done 5 shows last year.
Wow. Stephen said he had a dream for the first show, and I thought it would be a good idea to jump on. Then the second show, I got a bit of a fright because it was quite fucking stressful. And then the third show was a little bit easier. 4th show, we're getting there, and it was just slowly but surely we're getting there. But I think it's like with anything, it's like added stress because you've never done it before. But the more shows I'm doing, and I actually feel a little bit more comfortable this show than I did last show, and then the show before that. So it's just the same as anything. It's like riding a bike, isn't it?
Yeah, anything you go into is going to be overwhelming, and you're not going to know everything at the start. And Chris, if you don't mind me asking, obviously you're a UFC fighter. How'd you balance this? Because obviously your training's got to be spot on. You're usually going to have fights coming up. Obviously, you're off the back of a fight. Do you
Yeah.
take a back seat then and let Stephen take control while you're in camp?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, Stephen does pretty much most of the matchmaking anyway, so he's kind of the brains and the brawn behind that. And
The looks also.
The looks, aye. So we like I do a little bit of the grappling. The grappling's very easy to match in the sense that people are happy to come and go with weights. And Stephen already had the kind of pull from his shows before I jumped on. So Stephen already does that with the matchmaking. And obviously when I'm in fight camp, I focus on that. And when it's time to come back, I try and fill in as much as I can. And then without being like fucking too like up myself, it's great to have my profile, and then I can message different fighters, and then they're like, oh, this cunt's messaging me, he's got a blue tick, you know. So it's a good wee combination of people. And it's obviously we've got some good guys coming down to the show to watch it as well. So like we've got Owen Livesley coming down and all that sort of stuff. So we've got these names coming in, and we'll slowly build that. And like I say, we're going to start taking over Europe very, very soon.
Yeah, no, and continued success here. With Scotland, you said you're the best. I want to say, I know of 3 off the top of my head shows around there. How has it been like over the years for shows? Because obviously, Chris, you've got to get to where you've been through the regional scene, and that's what you're bringing. You're bringing like top class action, top class fighters to the regional scene. Is this like a legacy you want to leave? Because do you want to help the regional scene and get these fighters quicker? Because between Scotland, England, Wales, and Ireland, the scene's kind of popping at the minute.
Yeah. Well, I always remember, like obviously in anything in life, you need to make sure you work for it. And I felt like it was a little bit too hard when I first started out. Like people like worrying about 100 quid, you know, like guys wouldn't pay me, and people were like not agreeing to bouts and stuff like that. So I want to try and make it as plain sailing. So obviously Stephen has loads of fighters, but I'm also been the fighter, so I can kind of see from both bits, and I can also be a little bit more firm with the guys because I've done it, and I can say to them, "Oh, listen, this is what I fucking done. So why are you getting like?"
He also gets the inside scoop and like the UFC and stuff. He sees how things are working, and then giving me feedback. You'll try this, by the way. They done this. Try this. Try that. And it just seems like the two of us we've built a solid team around us as well. That's another thing. We've got a great referee, you know, we've got great guys behind the scenes in the pay-per-view. Our photographers, videographers are the best about as well. So the whole setup, I think, works really well. But again, as Chris says, you know, he's been in the regional Scotland sort of the base of shows round about this area, and he's got prior knowledge to that. So, you know, we're always kind of comparing and going above and beyond what most shows do, which I think is standing us out. You know, things like we're putting money out, you know, and I think that's what the amateurs like. You know, they're getting their head punched, they're getting their face kicked. You know, give some money to the guys for it. Fuck it.
They also, I see promoters back in the day, they used to, like, it felt like they were bringing all the money in and then they were just taking all the money out. Whereas like we are spending that little bit more. Like this next show, we're going to put some drones out. We're going to do some videos,
bigger venue,
600-700 people are going to be attending. Like
light engineers, sound engineers. You know, just we're going the works. You know?
It's where we don't fuck about. Like it's just like anything you put into it is going to come back out. So say we don't come away with an extra couple of grand that we maybe anticipated, but we've put it into the show and the fighters are happy and everybody's buzzing, they're going to come back, especially when they walk away with a grand in their back pocket.
Yeah. And the fighters as well are we look after the fighters. I think that's what, if you ask anybody that's fought on our show, they'll tell you the same. They're well looked after. I think for me being a coach as well with the Goliath guys, we've been up and down the country, like I said, and I've seen some shows that we've been, you know, guys are in the door and they're kicked straight back out the door. There's no in between. There's no sort of bringing the guys in, making them comfortable, you know, giving them the treatment of, you know, I mean, some of these guys might only ever fight once. You know, some of the debut guys, some of these guys, it might be the last fight, they might never fight again. So as long as we can turn it into a positive experience and keep everybody safe, you know, got the best of doctors. There's 2 ambulances on site on our shows with 5 paramedics and a doctor. There's quite a lot of personnel involved in what we do, and there's no stone unturned. So I think many who have been on our show would back us on that, you know, that we do look after our guys.
Yeah, it seems to be the case because obviously you've got returning people, you've had returning Irish. I know Sinead was supposed to be on and that fight fell through, and now she's gone on to Cage Warriors as well.
Yeah.
for yourself, Stephen, as a coach, how beneficial has this show to be able to bring your guys on, get them more experience, and what benefits have you seen for yourself and your fighters?
Oh, mate, it's tenfold. I mean, having even small things. We've got Scott Malone and Chris now coaching at the gym, and the benefit to my lads. My lads have always been decent amateurs. You know, we're quite well known for our striking, but now we're rounded. You know, and I think the fact that we've got the coaching now, we have the platform to push our own fighters on. These guys, I mean, Chris has definitely seen massive improvements in my guys in probably the last 6 months, and I think that's massively beneficial. And not just for my guys. I mean, we have so much support from all the Scottish gyms as well. And we're seeing a lot of the guys coming through from, like, let's say, HMAC, Ayrshire Hit Squad, especially, who support all the shows with big teams. Aberdeen Combat Centre as well. I'm seeing some of their guys just grow and grow. You know, these boys are going on to do big things, and hopefully, it's, you know, our platforms can help aid that. You know, that's the ultimate goal. Let's be honest. You know, to be a promotion that helps project these young guys up and on. You know, we've not the pro bout yet, but we're not really bothered for the pro bouts, if I'm honest, mate. We're trying to really showcase the local lads, the young lads coming through, and basically give an opportunity for them to perform in front of their friends or family. You know, instead of travelling to England with maybe small teams, just a couple of teammates and a coach. You know, so they're getting run-outs in their hometowns and stuff as well. It's amazing.
Yeah, I like what you said there. Obviously, the pro bouts would be nice, but there was a card in Ireland, your fighting championship, Decky McLean from Cage Warriors, you might know him. He didn't have a pro bout on it, and we had arguably probably the two best flyweights in Ireland fight on it. And I thought that was just ideal that these guys, amateurs, get to main event a sort of card like this. Is like, when you see a fighter, you tell them you're the main event, what kind of like feedback do you get? Are they excited? Like, is that what you want to do? You want to give them that feeling and that moment for them in their hometown?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're just looking to provide a platform with the best possible experience, but also we're not here short term. You know, we're here long term. So we're doing everything for the long game.
We'll get the pros on eventually.
Yeah,
it's just like, unfortunately, at the moment, Cage Warriors have done the rounds, and we're starting out, and we're just not in the position to be able to compete with Cage Warriors just yet. Like, as mark my words, just yet. You know, like, it's just time. We just need a little bit more time. We need to bring on these fighters, and you never know. Like, guys will leave Cage Warriors and maybe come to us, and maybe we'll have contracts for them, and we'll have like consistent dates. You know, this is all just a matter of time. Like, as I say, this is our 6th show. Imagine our 36th show. Like, we're gonna be cruising. You know.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about, because I have good relationships with a lot of amateur fighters, and they're all holding out for that Cage Warriors, you know, that sort of way for pro debuts or their second fight. So, but as you said, your show's got better and better every fight, and you said guys reach out to you to actually come on the show. How does that make you feel then, as promoters, that guys are actually coming to you and saying, I want to fight on your show?
Well, money talks, doesn't it? Money talks, and that's probably why we're putting the money in. It feels great, obviously. You know, it's like, anybody that asks you a question, or anybody that asks to be on something that you have, is definitely good. We just want to make sure we provide for the fighters, as we said before. Make sure we do it right. And every fight we've had, there's always a learning curve, and we've always thought to ourselves, like, well, we'll just need to fix that for the next time.
Yeah, there's been times where, you know, maybe we've made mistakes within the production of the show that only me and Chris really know, but that we've managed to kind of cover the naked eye, and the general public wouldn't have seen certain things happen backstage, or we've forgot this, or we've not done that. And every show we've tightened that up. So we're now almost a finely tuned machine at the moment. And I think the production on this next show, I think everybody's going to see. You know, the venue's amazing as well. The venue's superb. So yeah.
Yeah, no. Have you got the pay-per-view link out? Because I seen you actually had a problem with scammers. I've noticed that with all the Irish shows as well. They're making Facebook pages. I know someone who did get caught by one. Have you contacted Facebook or anyone to kind of address that issue, or is it something that just is too much, it's too time consuming, and they don't get it down in time?
Yeah, you can't really do that, mate. It's the only thing that we can do is, maybe even just now, after you put this interview, just say to everybody that make sure that they tune into my profile, Stephen's profile, or Goliath Fight Series profile. And if they have any inquiries, the main one to message is probably myself, because obviously you can't really make a fake profile of mine because it's got the blue tick and stuff like that. So if they've got any issues, just message me. The Goliath Fight Series is what as well.
Also the fighters,
yeah.
you know, if they're looking for links, go directly to, if you're not a fighter, there's a fighter that you're interested in watching, go to them, they'll have the links as well. We're sending all the links out on Monday. So any links that are up now are bullshit. The links haven't been set out yet. So the other thing is, if they really want to catch us, get us on Instagram, because obviously they can't replicate as well on Instagram as they can on Facebook.
Yeah.
Just basically get everybody to report any fake accounts. The last show we took a hit in a pay-per-view because of this. You know, there was a lot of fake accounts used. It spread like hot fire that you know, people have been caught with it. You know, there was one guy with 400 quid taken out his bank account.
Wow.
On the last show. So yeah, not good. These guys are scumbags, man.
Yeah, because like that, people want to pay, see their friends and family. I've seen it. It's happening for all the Irish shows here. Cage Conflict, there was about 10 profiles, and it's not fair. And then, like I said, it takes away from your show that you've built every time. So there's one or two kind of matchups I want to talk to you about. With I know obviously take away the cash prize, which obviously is huge to the fighter. The 4-man tournaments, what was the thinking behind that? Because we've had a couple over here recently. They've been really exciting. Is it something that you like doing? Is the one-night tournaments?
Just like pride all over again, isn't it? It's just bringing back that nastiness.
Just trying to be different, you know, as well. You know,
like everybody sees the UFC and like obviously they're doing great things, but like a little bit something different, like tournaments and like putting on like different shows. Like we're hoping in the next year or so to be able to do like a full stand-up show with MMA gloves on. So like these sort of things catch people's eyes, and like I say, we're just going to trial and error all these different things, see what ones are going to bring the biggest pull. But yeah, the tournament, it's just different, isn't it? It's just
I think the fact the guy can go and fight twice in one night, that's a memory of a lifetime. But also, imagine they go home with the belt, the grand, and 2-0 on the night. You know, that's a fucking great thing for a young fighter to be involved in and to tell the story and say, you know. But also, it's great entertainment as well. At the end of the day, we're here to entertain people and support the fighters. And for the feedback we had when we said, because we planned on having 3 4-man tournaments. There was meant to be a 70-kilo one as well, but I think we've had 8 fights, 8 different fighters for this 4-man that they've all now been injured or switched and swapped about. Yeah, I think personally we put this on just for something different, you know. But I did actually first see it in a show in Ireland. Yeah, possibly. Yeah. I saw that's where I first heard of the 4-man. I thought, fucking hell, lunatics. And then I'm thinking, actually, that's fucking amazing. You know, really is entertaining. If you're the guy sitting in the stands, you're up watching the fights, you're like, fucking hell, that guy won the first fight. You're looking forward to the final, you know, and see who takes it. You know, it's exciting, you know, it is.
Yeah, and it was actually Dale who's in the 4-man tournament, who was in the one you would have been watching and went to the final, and he lost the
I don't know Dale too well, but it seems like he's an absolute killer, man, this kid. Ballsy as hell.
The guy he fought 11-2, probably one of the best bantamweights. He's gone on to fight his debut in April in Cage Warrior. So, and Dale can start people. He's got like, I want to say a 16-second knockout. He's another quick knockout, and he's a couple of triangles as well. So Dale is a dangerous customer. But we're just over a week out from fight week. This will probably be released on the fight week. What's that like for you as promoters? Because it's usually within the 2-week period of the show when you start getting pullouts and stuff. Have you had much of that at the moment, or fingers crossed, touch wood, has it all been plain sailing?
Just one, I think. We just had one. It was actually a main event. I don't know if you have it in Ireland at the moment, but there's a throat thing going about. I don't know if you have it across the water.
Yeah.
But there seems to be a lot of guys struggling through this camp where what if this throat virus is. I've got it now. Chris has got it now. The two of us are absolutely fucked. So what we had was one of the Danish lads who was fighting on the main event against Reggie Higston from Highland Martial Arts, which was one of the fights that I was definitely going to be one of the fights of the night, I think. Unfortunately, the Danish kid William Morks pulled out because of that. He's on antibiotics and stuff, and he's not been able to train fully, which is fair enough, you know. So Reggie's we're looking to rematch Reggie, but it may be in the pro ranks. It may not be. May or not be. So we're not sure yet. We're trying to work our arse off to get something booked for next week for him, because he's had a very good camp from what I hear. So it would only be right to get the guy a fight, you know.
What's the weight class I might be able to put something out in Ireland?
It's bantamweight. Bantamweight.
Well, that's obviously if it was within your range to fly
Yeah,
someone out.
basically the bantamweight 4-man fights the winner of Reggie v whoever for the title, but Reggie will fight for the title against whoever, and the winner of that and the winner of the 4-man will fight on the next show.
Okay, perfect. If you want, I can put something out here and see what I can get back. If that's
why not, mate? Yeah.
If that's something that interests you. But I'm really looking forward to your show. I'm gonna buy it because you've got so many Irish fighters on. I have to keep an eye on it. I want to wish you the best of luck with the show, and congratulations on what you've done so far and where you plan on going. Like you said, you're doing it year on year. I'm going to let you both go. I want to thank you very much for your time. Is there anything you'd like to say before you go?
Watch out for the scammers. No, just anybody that's want to tune in. Like I say, like don't get scammed and shit like that. But any of yours kind of Irish following that are interested in maybe in the shows going forward, just need to reach out to Stephen, myself, for the Goliath Fight Series page, and we'll do our best to get you across. We don't mind paying for your flights across and stuff like that. It's just part and parcel of MMA, and want to get these guys well travelled and get some good fights.
Yeah, tickets on the door as well. Pay-per-view links will be out on Monday. Like Chris says, get us directly, get fighters directly to get those links to you. Don't click on any Facebook pages for links. It'll be in the bio of our Instagram pages as well. And again, look out for these 4-man tournament. They're going to be brilliant, especially the bantamweight. It's a very tasty one. There's four fighters in there. In fact, the flyweight one as well. Some crazy mad little flyweights in that 4-man. So yeah, there's some good fights on this card. But as we say, watch out for the scammers. And tune in. It's going to be a belter.
Perfect. I can't wait. I can't wait to see the show, see how the Irish guys get on. And thank you very much both for your time, because I know it's just a week before the show, so I know you're both very busy.
Cheers again, David. Thanks, mate.
Bye.
Perfect. Thank you.